You guys, I have the funniest story ever. Oh my God. Okay, so like we just went live over on the computer here, which was really fun and amazing. And what I've been doing now, but I totally forgot that you have to be on your phone to do like double people lives. And then, I'm not even kidding, I am running a program at the moment called High Vibe Life, right? And I was just live for like a good 3 minutes and I was like, why is nobody jumping on? Like, where's Viola? Where's all my self-help for the soul team? Like, why is nobody live in my group with me right now? And then, I'm not even kidding, hey Katie, what's up? I was just saying that I totally just like tried to go live, obviously on the computer, and then it didn't work. Hey Denise, what's up, babe? And then I just went live in my other group, High Vibe Life, which is a program I'm running at the moment. And I'm like, why is nobody joining me for this live? Like, this is going to be an epic live. Like, where are my team members, right? Like, where's my self-help for the soul community? And I totally realized that I was live in the wrong group. So it's a total win today. Definite technological win for Jacqui. Denise is here, Phoebe's here, Robin is here, Natalie is here. What's up, team? All right, so we are going to be bringing on the gorgeous, amazing, wonderful Viola Hug. And Viola is somebody who is such a beautiful soul, you guys. She is abundant. She is high vibe. She is also my twin gangster flame. I'm just going to put it out there, guys. Like, you know how we just randomly break out in like Tupac and out in like all these gangster little vibes? Viola totally does the same. So just pre-warning you guys. So guys, I'm about to bring her on board here. We're going to talk about all things mindset, money, manifesting, and of course, what it means to be an abundant babe, which of course, guys, is all about Viola's book. I'm so excited to actually have a friend who's publishing a book. Is that not the coolest thing in the world? So let's all give a big round of applause for Viola Hug. Yeah! All right, I wish I could see you guys on live sometimes. Approve. Tick. Viola. Viola, are you there? Are you there? Is it connected?
It's connected. It's connected. Hey. Oh my gosh. That was the best intro ever.
That was amazing. I felt like I was on like a stage and I had like a microphone and it was like the greatest show.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Totally. Cool. Amazing. So, guys, what is up? I want to introduce you to, of course, this gorgeous soul here who is also just FYI the queen of like the top knot hairstyles. Like, I don't know how you
I need to get a new hairstyle.
It's amazing. It takes me like 30 times in the mirror to like try and do it. So, guys, this is one of my very good friends called Viola, as you guys can all see. And unbeknownst to many people and also very weirdly like against the normal Facebook grain, Viola and I actually met in real life.
Yeah.
We connected online.
I know, so unique.
Right? We have like such a cute meet story.
Yeah,
So
meet cute.
Viola and I actually share, I think, like a common friend whose name was Liz, if I remember correctly, and she was teaching yoga at a local park, and that's how we met, which was amazing. And you just come back from doing yoga training in India or something, right?
Liz just got back from doing, Liz had just done it and I did it like maybe 6 months previous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, man. Yoga for the soul. So guys, I'm super excited to have Viola here today because obviously this is money month, right? And this is one of the favorite topics ever to talk about in the circle of like spiritual entrepreneurs because there is just so much goodness, you guys, that I cannot wait, and I'm sure Viola can't wait as well, just to really just jam out on this. So before we get started, Viv, do you want to tell all of these lovely, beautiful people who are joining us live and on the replay what you're about? What is your story? No pressure.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to be here. I feel like, yeah, sometimes it's a loaded question, but I mean, I always go by the fact that I'm just going to word vomit whatever needs to come out. And you either love me or you cringe at me. That's like usually the spectrum. Like either you're like, or you're awesome. You're my kind of person.
Love it.
If you're wondering where my accent's from, it's because for the first half of my life and until I was 16, I was raised in Canada. And then from 16, I lived in New Zealand. And now I'm a digital nomad. So for about 7-8 months now, my husband and I have been traveling nonstop, mostly around Europe and like very, very north of Africa, Morocco. But yeah, just like literally living the dream. I'm like, pinch me, is this my life? Yes, actually it is. Not only have we been doing this, but my business as a coach, so I'm an intuitive business coach primarily, but I always say, and so much more, hashtag I'm awesome. Yeah. Like I do so much. But then, yeah, and then I've been, launching programs. I'm really like enjoying doing group coaching and one-on-one and all that kind of stuff. And then throughout the mix in December last year, I decided to write a book, and 4 months later, we're sitting here and I'm 3 days away from publishing.
That is amazing. I mean, can we all just take like 3 seconds and, hey Liz, what's up gorgeous? Hey Christine, can we all just take 3 seconds and like raise our imaginary glasses of champagne to the woman in front of us who is literally just, or glass of tea, I love that, who has freaking written a book in 4 months, 3 days away from publishing. That is amazing. So do you want to share, I know the title obviously of your book, which is freaking amazing and it just feels good, but do you just want to go ahead and explain a little bit about the title of your book and why it's called this, and really just about what your book is about, because I think that's going to be amazing for us to jam out a little bit.
So the book is called You Are an Abundant Babe. I started there. You Are an Abundant Babe. Skyrocketing your self-belief, integrating the secrets to success, and tapping into the abundance that is meant for you. So I just like get so excited saying that, because you are an abundant babe. Like we all are. Like my kind of philosophy and understanding after like, you know, like I talk about the kind of the journey a little bit more in my book, but when I was younger, like I always had this innate feeling that I was going to do really awesome things, which I'm sure if you're in this group, you've had that as well. That like little voice that's like, you're going to do so many cool things with your life. And, you know, the universe having a sense of humor was just like, because you're going to have a really big purpose, I'm just going to teach you a lot of lessons while you're young. And so I went through all the things when I was young, and, the hardships, and I say hardships in kind of quotation marks, because when I'm on the side of my life that I'm at now, I actually have gratitude and appreciation for everything that happened in my life. Like, of course, there was experiences that I'm like, yeah, it would have been cool not to go through that. But I also see like the massive benefit that it's had in my life and to my personality. And while I was going through this, like, a kind of like that age from kind of having this inner knowing that, yeah, I'm going to do cool things, to suddenly like being in a society where, you know, it's like, what grade did you get? And when are you getting a job? And how much money do you make? And all of those kind of like, I guess, like societal pressures, I suddenly felt that in order to nurture that feeling or bring back that feeling that I had inside of me that was kind of getting squashed, I needed external proof of it. So I was trying to make a lot of money. I was trying to like be really successful. I was trying all these things to externally feel validated and externally feel abundant. And then my journey really like culminated when I started to actually bring myself more inward. And I started to realize that abundance isn't something that we create. Abundance is what we are. We create limitations, right? Yeah. So it's
totally.
Exactly. So the book was kind of like a deep dive. Like, how did I go from being like literally a fucking shit show? Excuse my swearing. There's swearing in the book. Just FYI.
No, don't worry, babe. This is like cursing is like the norm in this group. It's all good in the hood.
It's the inner gangster, right? You're just like, yo. But it's.
I told you guys, she's my gangster sister twin flame. Okay.
Yeah, but so it's like, how did I go from that space to suddenly like I like was over 6 figures in debt. End of 2017, launched my coaching business. Like 8 months-ish later, started traveling full time. And now literally in the past 2 months of 2019, I've made as much money as I made all of 2017. Like collapsing timelines, you know, like how did that happen? And I kind of pulled out the things that helped me like get back to my truth, like understand the difference between intuition and ego, manifestation, like getting back to like releasing the conditioning and all that kind of stuff that's allowed me to get here. And that's what I put into the book.
Love that. That is so powerful. And something you said earlier to me today, just I laughed so hard when I heard it, because it's so true. You mentioned that, you know, we all are these abundant babes, right? Every single one of us are born, right, with this innate ownership of this abundance. It's not something that we create or that we have to tap into or anything like that. It's something we're born with. It's literally our birthright, right? And something you said in your message today just made me laugh so much, and that was around, we don't need a certificate to tell us that we're abundant, right? And I think that that's like this misconception these days, that you have to like sit and meditate for 3 hours, and you have to, you know, really make sure that you tick all the boxes, and you have to do all these crazy things that this nuts teacher told you, or this book you know, like whatever it is, when actually you are abundant as you are, breathing. Right? And I think that's something that is so powerful, and I love that that's such an important part of your book, an important part of your message throughout it as well. So what would you say for you personally, like you've obviously had some epic incredible growth in a very short amount of time, right? What is time? Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
I just got like a Star Wars tune in my head there. But what would you say, right? If you had to say like one epic tip or one epic tool or one epic thing that really helped you to shift the way you thought or the way that you felt or something that you experienced and you were like, oh my God, I get it. This makes sense. I wish I knew this all along. Like, what would you say that would be?
Oh my gosh, it's such a, I mean, in the book, I cover like 8 things that I think are the things, right? Like, so it's hard to say one.
Oh my God.
But I also think there's like an underlying theme in the book that is like I'm kind of like, I sometimes call myself like a truth seeker, because I would rather know what's good for me, like whether it's to do with health, whether it's to do with growth, whether it's to do with my habits. Like I would rather know what's good for me than kind of feed my ego and be like, I'm fine, I already know it, like blah blah, like whatever. Like I'd rather just know the truth if it's going to help me and it's going to help the collective. So I'm just like, whatever. And sometimes that like is a bit of a hard hit on the ego, which is, you know, like in my coaching and stuff, I'm always like, I don't mind calling you out, and I love being called out even though it's painful at the time. And so it's like this calling out aspect really comes to like, how can you build that to yourself? Like how can you call yourself out when you're just being, you know, call yourself on your own BS basically. And that really comes with radical self-responsibility and self-awareness, right? And I really, really do believe that that is like one of the major keys to success, because if we're wanting to like manifest more money, if we're wanting to, I don't know, feel more fulfillment, have better love and passion in our relationship, like whatever it is that we're desiring, if we don't have, firstly, the awareness of where we are, you know, falling into possibly like ego traps, or where we're, quote unquote, self-sabotaging, like all of these things, and then we don't have we don't take the responsibility to actually do something about it, like you always have a freaking choice, then it's going to be really, really hard to shift. And when you can have that awareness and you can understand like, okay, so the ego, the fear thoughts just come up when I'm about to grow. So if I can act anyway, and despite of the fear, like in spite of the fear, then I can, you know, that's where I can have my level up. That's where I can grow. That's where I can be on the other side and be like, like not so bad. It's when we know that, then that's really where the shift's going to take place.
Completely.
And it can happen
I love
fast.
that you just said that. Totally, so quickly,
Yeah.
right? This is something that I was thinking about the other day as well. Is like we often have these perceptions that these changes and these shifts are going to take, you know, so long, and oh man, there's no way that that's going to happen for me now. When actually the space, right, between like fear and excitement is literally this big,
Yeah.
right? And if we just are able to breathe into that and to process into that and be really aware of when it's happening, magic comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And magic comes so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you really hit on something important, that you know, everybody wants to up level. Well, at least everybody in this group, right? And our inner circle totally wants to up level. They want to grow. They want to be better. They want to become, right? They want to be that person that keeps them up at night, thinking, dreaming, having these epic ideas, right? But there is something so critical within that it is amazing to dream, and it is so beautiful to have these ideas and these visions. But if you're not aware of where your point is or where your balance lies between what is living in the ego, right, and what is actually breathing into fear and learning to love fear, right? This is something that is so important. Is fear is this thing that has just been labeled as this horrible bad thing, right, that you never want to go near it, and you've got to do everything you can to get rid of it, right? But actually, what would happen if we learned to lean into fear, right? And we learned to actually start exploring the fear. And something that I love to relate it to is, I reckon, right, this is just like a Jacquiism, that what if fear is just growing pain, right?
Oh my gosh.
Comfort zone. Isn't it just maybe a symptom or a sign, right, that we're growing and we're evolving? And what a more beautiful thing to be feeling than that, right?
Yeah.
Than growing pain.
Yeah, this is literally what my chapter 2 is about. It's called Beyond the Comfort Zone Bubble. And my chapter names crack me up, by the way. Like, I just was laughing my head off writing my book. But that's the thing. I'm just like, I wrote in the description for my book as well, as just like, you're going to find it hilarious if you have my weird sense of humor. Otherwise, you'll be like, why? But anyway, so the comfort zone thing that I always say is like, if basically like, I mean, there's so much to it, right? Like the ego is still, the ego is what makes us human, because if we didn't have the ego, we'd just be souls and we'd just be like, we know every single outcome, we're infinite, like la da 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 da. Like there would be no,
like, why are we even here?
Exactly. There would be no surprise. Like, can you imagine if you knew the outcome of every single decision you ever made in your life before you made it? Like, it'd be so boring. And so, and there's so much magic, there's so much fulfillment in trusting yourself and taking the, you know, the risk and then ending up in this space and be like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So there's so much like excitement and beauty about that. So it's like, we can actually learn to love that a little bit. But then at the same time, like the ego also kind of keeps us alive. So the ego knows if we just keep doing things the same and never change, we're not going to die. And cool. And the ego is really great when it comes to life-threatening, you know, situations, like, I don't know, like standing at the edge of a cliff, maybe, I don't know, tigers chasing us, if that, you know, maybe happens for you in Africa, like, but then where the ego is completely irrational, and where it's so funny because if we're not paying attention, we buy into it. But if we're paying attention, we're just like, wait a minute, like this doesn't seem right. Like it's when it's non-life threatening things like fear of judgment, fear of like not having money, like that, not even that's a fear these days because there's always support, you know, like it's fear of failure. Like, what does that even mean? Like, isn't the ultimate failure getting to the end of your life and being like, I never tried?
Oh,
and
whoa, did anyone else feel that? That was like a powerful like punch in the ego gut. Holy moly, that is so true. The ultimate, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
That is like the truth. Like everybody watching this live and on replay, get that shit tattooed on your forehead because you will never live a day wasted in your life. So with this fear thing, right? Like let's jam on this a little bit, because I feel like, especially when it comes to money, right? There is so much, I'm literally like getting goosey just thinking about this. Like there is just so much fear that is associated with money, right? We've been conditioned by society to think certain ways, to act certain ways, to behave certain ways, to God forbid we want to be rich and wealthy, right? And it's like, it's so much negative conditioning around that again, it takes that self-awareness to be, first of all, aware in our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings around money in order to step into that, you know? And I would love to know from you, babe, like, throughout your book writing process and throughout your own experience with this, right, about kind of shifting back into your space of being the abundant babe that you were fucking born to be, what do you find is like sort of the number one resistance that people have? Like, what do you find everybody comes to you with, or that you found throughout your process that is like the most common thing for people these days, the resistance side?
Well, especially when it comes to money, I definitely think like it's interesting because people are having internal conflict, because babes like you and me who are soulful, who desire to make an impact, I'm going to go with everyone innately at their core is this person, but you know, like the level that that's expressed in this lifetime, who knows? But the, you know, those people that are the light workers or the, you know, the heart-led entrepreneurs, the ones that not only want to do it for the desires that they have for themselves, but also because they want to give back, they want to feel the fulfillment, they want to see the world moving into a really beautiful place, which, by the way, like it's not even because I'm optimistic. It's just like I look around at the world and I see so many amazing people doing so many amazing things, and like some people like killing it with like environmental stuff, and some people doing this and some people doing that, and some people like working with youth and some people working with seniors, and like there's just so much goodness happening in the world. Like I'm so excited about the future of humanity. Like it's just amazing. But we're born with this internal conflict because we have this desire, and at the same time, we also desire wealth. Like I'm going to say, especially like if we think of kids, when we were kids, it's like we looked at wealthy people, we looked at money, and we were excited by it. It was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But then when we grow up, we're in this society where there's all of these old paradigm beliefs about money, that you're greedy if you want money, or that money's the root of all evil, or that you can't, like, it's easier to fit a camel through the eye of a needle than, you know, whatever that quote or saying is. Like, there's just like so much.
A camel through the eye of a needle. I love that.
Like, there's just so much stuff out there about money that these like soulful people, they get so conflicted, and they're just like, I want to help. I want to create this amazing, abundant life, but I don't want to be this like greedy business person. And I'm just like, okay, for one, the reason you desire money is because you were God chosen to make an impact on this world. And you're going to make such a bigger impact when you can be fully expressed in every single facet of your life, including money, including your relationship with money, including how you feel about it, and then furthermore, how you can utilize that to make an impact, right?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It's magic.
That's always the thing, is like you have to ask yourself the question of like, okay, can I help more people if I'm broke and constantly stressing about money and worrying where that next dollar is going to come from, and in that state because I don't want to be spiritual and be good and help people at the same time, right? Or are you going to be able to help people more if you yourself are wealthy, if you have more freedom, if you have more choices, if you have more ability to actually do this, right? And this is the thing. I literally ran a training on this last night. It was module number 10 of my High Vibe Life program at the moment, which was literally about money mindset, right? In that there's all of these, again, conditioning fucking beliefs around money that normally our parents taught us, or people who we look up to, right? Or any sort of authority leader about what is right about money, what is wrong about money, what is true about money, and what isn't. But money at its soul, right? Money at its core is an energy, right? And the dollars that we hold, the physical money that we hold, is literally just a physical representation of that, right? And if we even think of the word representation and we break that down, it's a representation. It's not the actual thing. It's like how a photograph is like literally a representation of a moment in time.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the actual thing. It's just a representation of it. And when we understand it that way, we begin to understand that actually money, abundance, wealth, this whole thing, it's an energy. And wait, I'm an energy. So hang on, how does that shift our relationship now, right?
Yeah, that's so huge.
Right.
Yeah, it's powerful. And I think that's like, we can, I mean, we've heard it before. It's like, oh, you can do so much more with wealth and stuff, but it's just like, it's also such a liberating feeling, like, being able to be like, yeah, I love money, but not only like love money from like saying like I want to be wealthy or anything, but it's also like nurturing your relationship. Like I always say, like treat money like a person, like nurture your relationship like a person. Like you can be in a romantic relationship with money if you want, write it love letters about all the incredible things you want to do together with money, like, and really think of that. And it's like, I don't actually say this in my book, but when was I talking about this? Oh, something else, but it's like 2 affirmations that I always recommend to use to kind of like build a really powerful relationship with money and just abundance in general. Is like every time you spend money, you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And wait, I'm getting confused. Every time you every time you receive money, it's thank you, I'm so abundant. And when you spend money, it's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's always more where that came from. So it's like this like kind of relationship that we always know. It's like, it's always going to be there for us. Like it really, really is. And when we can get back to the state and realize, okay, like maybe I don't need to like curse money, and I don't need to curse this energy, and I don't need to freak out about whatever, or like you can just stop being like, okay, well, if money was a person, like how would I treat it? How would I want my relationship with money to be? And then it's completely different, because for sure, if money was a person, you would not be wanting to say like, I kind of secretly want you, but publicly I'm going to say that you're shit. Like, you know, like
totally. Or like, I'm going to pretend to trust you, but I actually have no trust or faith in our relationship because I know you're just going to leave me.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, this is, guys, for everybody who is watching and listening to this live and on replay, this is the real shit right now that we're talking about, you guys. This entire concept about turning how you feel about money into a person, right? And actually personifying it. I even go as far as to give my relationship with money a name, right? And mine is Ed Sheeran. I'm dating Ed Sheeran, obviously. And guys, because what Viola's just said here is so important, because we have all these preconditioned ideas about money. When we start to think about money, we feel certain ways, okay? Now, everybody who knows anything about the law of attraction or about anything to do with manifesting knows that, yes, you can think positive thoughts and life's great, but you know where your magnet lies is in your heart. And you know what lies in your heart is your emotions. Right? So the moment you start feeling all these negative feelings about money, guys, or anything to do with money, or what it means to have money, or what it means to not have money, or what it means for a rich person, whatever it is, you start to attract that, okay? And any thought that has this powered emotion behind it is literally on a thoroughfare. It's on Highway 69, right to you right now, right? So when you start shifting it and you're like, okay, hang on. If I was in a relationship with money, right, Ed Sheeran, okay, whatever, how would I be treating it differently, right? What would I be thinking? What would I be saying? And something I also love to talk about too, like, guys, how clean is your wallet? Seriously, I'm not even going to show you guys because I cleaned mine out today, okay? But how many receipts do you have in there that are like over 2 months old? How many old loyalty cards do you have that you use once every year, right? if your wallet was your house and you were dating money, would money want to come and hang out with you? Yes or no, right? Like, this is the question to be asking.
It's like 101.
Personify it. Right, exactly. When we personify it like this, it suddenly is like, oh shit, I'm not a really good partner to money.
I'm not being a good host. I'm not being a good friend. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I really need you in my life right now, but I'm not going to do anything to respect you.
Totally, like use and abuse that shit, right? Like you cry when this person's visiting you, and then when they leave, you get really sad. But when they're actually spending time with you, are you actually thankful for them? Do you say thank you for hanging out with me? And thanks for such a great day.
And it's also like, I feel like there's such a big thing. Like, so many people actually have money and say they don't, right? Like, this is like this. They have the money to pay their bills. They have the money to pay their rent. What they mean is they don't have fun money. They don't have extra money to go do all the things. But are you saying right now that it's like saying to a friend, like, yeah, you, the friend that's always there for me, that always picks up the phone, that always comes over to visit when I need you, that always is there, like, when I need, like, something. You don't count, though. You don't count. Like, I want a fun friend.
Oh my God, that is so true.
No.
I hope you guys are like taking notes on this shit. This is the real deal. And it's so true though, you know, like yeah, it blows my mind every time to think about this, you know, and I also feel like no matter how far you are along in your money journey, it's always good to re-look at stuff like this. Yeah. It's always really good to go back to basics and kind of just reassess, because as you evolve, your relationship with money evolves too, right? Oh my gosh, and there was something really like bold I wanted to say. You totally triggered it in my mind. Come on, Jacqui, where did it go? It was about, oh yeah, what you were saying about like the fun money, right? Is another thing that I notice all the time is that people say they want to be a millionaire, right? Or they say they would love an extra $1,000 or they'd love an extra $10,000 or whatever the case is. But the truth of it, right, is not that they want an extra $1,000, $100,000, $10,000, $1 million in their bank account. No one just wants to have that sitting there piling up, right? They want what the experience of having that would mean, which would mean more freedom, right? More time to hang out with their kids, more times to travel with their partners around the world, like a really cute, abundant babe that I know right now, right? Like, this is the thing. It's always about that experience, right? And I'm sure that that's something you talk a ton about in your book. So do you want to, like, I would love to know what do you want us to know about your book right now? Because, guys, like, if you haven't already guessed, go out there, put your name on the fucking waiting list for this woman's book, because it is going to be fire. So, V, do you want to share with everybody, like, just a little bit about this so we know where to go, what to type right now?
Okay, so literally bit.ly/A, B, book waitlist, and you'll find the book waitlist. That easy. I can put the link in as well, but yeah, so right now I have the waitlist for it. The book's in the background right now being submitted, like all the things. Mercury retrograde's giving us a couple of formatting issues, but it's okay, we're figuring it out. I'm just like, really? I chose to publish my book now? But I did, and I mean, whatever. I'm okay. I'm okay to roll with the punches, right? It's all growing pains. And yeah, but the book's going to be live on March 11th, as long as everything goes to plan. And this date is super, super special to me as well, because it would have been my dad's birthday, and he's passed away almost 14 years ago now, and it would have been his 59th birthday. So it's a super, super special date to me. Yeah, I'm so excited. And I can just like feel his energy. Yeah, he's so proud.
Really, really powerful. Oh man, yeah. I'm getting like all the emotional and like the goosies right now. Like, that is so powerful, babe. Like, what a beautiful way to honor your journey, you know, and honor his memory. Oh man, this totally wasn't.
I know. I'm just like, honestly, the last few days I've been like crying, and I've been like happy crying, like overwhelmed crying, because I've just like, everything's like coming together, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And as I'm like, because I don't think like the whole process of writing a book, I've never been so introspective on my own life, like looking back at really where I was and what I believed at the time. And it just blows my mind that there was a stage when I just literally, like, the possibility that I could ever live the life that I'm living now was so small that I couldn't even recognize it, you know? And now that I'm here, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, this is amazing. This is mind blowing, and it's amazing. Yeah.
I don't know what just came over me, like what you just said now about your dad, and like everything you've just said now is so powerful, I think, for people to see and for people to hear and for people to understand, because and this is so not to do with money or anything, but guys, when you're in a place that you're not happy with, V and her story she just shared is such beautiful proof that everything is temporary, right?
Yeah.
You get to choose. You get to choose how the story ends, right? And
Yeah.
that is just so beautiful.
And that's,
I seriously, I don't know what the hell, like, I'm just so
it's because you're feeling my vibes. It's because it's so real.
Totally.
Like, this isn't just like, hey guys, I wrote a book. Like, this is a creation. This is like what it represents. Like, it actually represents so much more than I thought it would. It's just like, it's so incredible. And that's really the core at also why I wrote this book, because it's like, I, to my core, believe that everyone can, like, those desires you have are freaking meant for you. You wouldn't desire them if you weren't capable of it. And I've been through such lows, and I'm now like so badass, like, and it's such a reminder that it's available for anyone. It really, truly is. And so that's really the message. It's like, I really want people to understand that and know that and create that ripple effect so that more and more and more people get this message and, find more fulfillment and love and excitement and all of those things in their life that is there for them. It's there for the taking, right?
Yeah, it's available, to know that it's not the end, right? And I think that's such a powerful shift in itself, that these things that you're going through, it's not there to make you feel like life is horrible and life is terrible and like, why is this happening to you? It's there to help you grow and to strengthen and to add badges, right? And to add scars and battle wounds and really create you into the person that is available for all of those things, right? And I think that is just so powerful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Like, I just love people who are not afraid to own, right? And to stand in that power and to have something so beautiful like a book come from that. And I want to share a quote with you because I think you'll love it. But writing, you guys, I can't remember who said this, okay, but it's one of my favorite, and I think you'll agree that it completely just encompasses the whole story about writing, okay, which on the surface sounds really cool. I almost just went on to an Eminem rap there, that just, by the way, that on the surface, I'm just going to say, and I saved you guys from it, okay, but on the surface you say, oh, I'm writing, and everyone's like, yay, that's amazing, like, go you, right? But this is the quote, okay, and it is, writing is easy. You just sit down and bleed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally feel that. And I also think what's really, really relevant is, on the surface I look calm and ready.
To drop bombs.
Yeah.
But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down.
Oh crap, goes the land opens the
This is so amazing. I love having gangster raps live. This is epic. So, guys, what I'm going to ask V to do is to come on into the group, babe, share everything so that these ladies can get a hold of you guys. Follow her on Instagram if you're not already. Friend her on Facebook. Jump into her group, you guys. This woman is going places, okay? And each and every one of you are too. So you need to get on that fucking Viola train. Right, so V, is there anything else you would like to share, babe, before we say goodbye to these beautiful people?
Just thank you so much. This has been so amazing. I've loved every single moment of this. And to everyone who's watching, I love you. I believe in you. And thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm going to go have like a little glass of champagne and a cry party now, because I'm just like so emotional from that. And I fucking love you, babe. And I'm so grateful to have your presence in my life and to actually just have other epic like-minded women on the same journey, right? Like, that is it. That is what this is about. So, peace and love to you, baby. And yeah, floor is yours. Please jump in
Thank you.
after the live and share everything, all the links, all the things, okay?
Will do. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Amazing. Bye, beautiful.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks everybody on the replay as well. We love you, and we'll see you all soon. Love, light, and a high five. High five. Bye.